Hello, welcome to the video. Today we're going to be playing a bit of GORF, which is one of my favourite arcade games from back in the day. We had a real arcade machine in the town I lived in. It was in a cafe, and it came out on the Commodore VIC20 and the C64 in, well, relatively short space of time. So I think the arcade game came out in 1981, with the VIC20 being 1982 and the C64 being 1983. And I think there might have been a bit of, well, disappointment if you'd bought the VIC20 version and then you got a C64 and saw that, because there was light years difference in only a year of it being released. And in the town I grew up in, you didn't necessarily get stuff fast after it had been released, so there was always a bit of a delay. So getting the VIC20 version may have been not that much earlier than getting the C64 version. Now, I never had a VIC20 at the time of release. I got one later on, I think it was 86 or something, I had it given to me. But I had a C64 at that time. And, well, the VIC paled in comparison. But let's have a play through both of them, and we can see what the differences are. One thing to note with the C64 version is it actually supported the Magic Voice, which was a speech synthesizer add-on for the C64, and I'm going to enable that for the recording I'm doing now. Yeah, we can see it's got the same mechanic where the more you press the fire button, it cancels the last bullet. One striking thing straight up, basically done like that. One striking thing straight off the bat you notice is, according to the VIC20, the colours were much more vibrant, whereas the 64 was washed out a bit more. That was real luck and judgment, look at that. It's actually really responsive to play. Right, mission 2, here we go. Oh, dead already. I mean, just because it looks simplistic, you think, oh, it's going to be a doddle. It really ain't. Either that or just a shit run. Yeah, that's properly bad. Right, let's have a renege on that one. I fucked that right up. Here we go again. I think they've done a really good job considering the VIC's got no sprites and they're all character graphics. This was, of course, a cartridge release on the VIC, and that's because it only had 3.5K, and that's mainly due to the memory cost at the time. If it had more memory, they could have easily put it on tape, and a lot of the later VIC games were on tape. Why are you not getting it this time? I think not. Gotcha. Here we go. Ah, that's just bollocks. So I'm playing this on the NTSC version, and I'm recording at 60 frames a second, so all the flickering and that you can see is as you would get it on a real machine. Oh, that's what? Here we go, flagship. Let's give it a shot. Man! Come on. Holy shit, them bits. Yes! Space Captain! Here we go. I think all in all, if I'd have got this in 1982 when it came out, I wouldn't have been disappointed at all. I mean, back in the day, I had the Atari 2600 as well, before I got the Commodore 64. And that had a really good version of this on it. And I did play that a lot. Mission 6, look at this. What? Bum rushed. Man. Come on. What's going on here? Man. Oh, bite the dust. That's me done. Let's have another one more go at that one. You can only start the game when it's on this phase here, for a strange reason. Sounds really crunchy as well. There's a lot of square wave goodness going on here. Ah, I've got a big guy. I don't know where the name GORF come from, apart from its fog backwards. How did I miss that? Wait, you're gone. You're out of there, so are you. And bollocks! There's some questionable hitboxing going on here. That was more luck than judgment. What? Chicken pizzas at me everywhere. I think the VIC was mainly released to compete with the Atari 2600, but being a computer, an easier sell to parents at the time. I did know a guy that had a VIC. He loved it. I think he had practically everything going for it. Yes! Yeah, get through the MOT on that one. Here we are, Space Captain. Yeah, you should be able to see all the flicker that I'm seeing. And I think that's unavoidable just with the pure amount of screen redrawing they're doing. It's not as bad, I mean, it could be worse, it could be a bloody Spectrum. Speaking of which, I had a really good version of Jetpack on here. How did I miss that? Come on. Space Captain. What? go, space warp. I mean, this is amazing they've got all this in 8K. Really, truly is. And that's me absolutely fucked at 10,090 points. Bite the dust, yes I have. That's a really good version. There's nothing disappointing about that at all. Right, so what we've got here is clearly GORF running on the C64. And you can see it's just so much smoother, better in every single way, despite it being only a year later. Now this version also had Magic Voice, but the emulation of that is so rubbish that I've turned it off for the beginning. I may turn it on in a little while to show you, but let's have a go at this. Here we go. Oh, this is night and day. Still got the multiple fire mechanic there. This is just super smooth. Here we go, come on in. Jeez! He moved a bit quick, didn't he? Bloody hell. Oh man. Now back in the day I did play this one quite a bit on the 64. Uh-oh. Should have carried on playing the state of this game. Brilliant. Coming in. Oh, what? No way! Come on. It's a bit difficult, isn't it? Ah, got him! You be fucked. Go, Space Captain. Now, this is only a 16K cartridge, I believe. Oh, dead. Gorfian Hall of Fame. Look at that. Right, let's just switch on the Magic Voice, and we can see what that sounds like. I've got to warn you now, it's pretty bad in emulation. It's not as bad in real life. I don't actually have a Magic Voice in real life, so it's not quite as distorted as this. I think there was only 2 games with voice activation. Space Cadet, yeah. Let's play around with the voice enabled. Some Galactic Defender you are, Space Cadet. Brilliant. Space Captain! Ah! Come on. Right, so there we have it. The Magic Voice is okay. It's better on a real machine, but emulation wise it's diabolical, as you can hear. There's something wrong with VIC with that. I don't know what's going on there. There's some kind of distortion. But if we go back and play one more round of the regular version, I mean, they've really improved this in every way for the Commodore 64 over the VIC, and it's only a year later. It's not taking anything away from the VIC version, but you know, if you'd got a VIC20 and then saw this running on a Commodore 64 the next year, you're going to be a bit pissed off, really. There's going to be a bit of buyer's remorse there. Here we go. Come on. Look at that. I mean, technically, it's a very good game. Unlike my playing. It is 100% super smooth, which is what you want from any kind of shoot 'em up. This is one of the things that some other games on other systems, Spectrum, they suffer with, because they can't really do the smoothness. See the big guys do them. Come on. That was just stupid. Also, sound effects are very varied, and they're not as harsh as the VIC-20. To be expected. I mean, the SID's light years ahead of anything else. Oh man, that's it. So what is it we're saying then? Well, clearly the 64 version's better, and it was always going to be. The 64 is light years ahead of the VIC-20, but the VIC-20's still got a good version, and it's still very playable, despite it being a VIC machine, you know. And although the VIC-20 version has got character graphics, it doesn't take anything away from the gameplay, because even though there's flickering and it just doesn't look as good, it still plays really well. The 64 version is super smooth, as you've just seen, and it's really nice to play. I still play the ROM of the actual arcade version, which is absolutely superb. It's a brilliant game, although it doesn't bring anything new to gameplay. From a gameplay's point of view, it's nothing original there. It's just a really good game just to pick up and play for 10 minutes and put down. You might have seen some nice bezels in the video. They come from the Name C. I'm going to put a link in the description where you can get your own, and you can put them into RetroArch and get some really nice effects. Like there's nice drop shadows, there's nice reflections, and yeah, give that a look. And also give 64 Retro Refix a look. He's got some good stuff going on there, and the only thing left to say is thanks for watching.